Well, hello, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining me. Welcome to Clutch Them Pearls. Today, we're talking about Lilly and Jack Sullivan, two children, a 20-minute nap, and then nothing. Lilly and Jack Sullivan, 4 and 6 years old, vanished from their home in Nova Scotia. Their parents say they dozed off for 20 minutes, but somehow in that tiny window, their kids disappeared without a trace, no footprints, no sound, no witness. Seems like we've heard that a lot lately. Tonight, we're breaking down what I think, in my opinion, are lies buried inside that 20 minutes. I think it's very important because if you're asking how far these two children got in 20 minutes, I'm going to break it down for you. You're asking the right questions. The real questions is, though, what happened before mom and stepdad even closed their eyes? We're going to get to it all on the other side.
So I close my eyes and lose myself now. Do it like it's only a day. We got a party for a lifetime. No, we ain't stopping for the sunrise. No, we don't care about the bad nights. And for a second I can feel like this. Make me feel like this.
Oh, you're done.
There's my angel.
We got a party for a lifetime. No, we ain't stopping for the sunrise. No, we don't care about the bad nights. And for a second I can feel like this. Make me feel like this.
My tender little baby.
Young blood made of gold. A mind you can't control. Running wild, can't Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. Ask me how we got here, 'cause you don't know how. You say we're taking on water, yeah, we're sinking now. You're looking all concerned, like we're gonna drown. But we both know how to swim, no worries, let's flow for now. Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. I drag you out your mind, and there are days I hate you, but baby, you're still mine. And then we have the best times, no matter what we do. And even when we don't, there's nobody I'd rather choose. Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me.
Well, hello, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. You could have chosen to be anywhere on YouTube. You have a lot of options anywhere on the internet, anywhere in thy world, and you chose to be right here. I know your time is very, very valuable, and I do appreciate you spending some time with me. Today is June 25th, 2025. It is currently 6:32 p.m. on the East Coast of the United States. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Good to see you all. Really do appreciate you all joining me. We have a lot to talk about today concerning the case of Lilly and Jack Sullivan out of Nova Scotia. And there's been a lot going on and nothing going on at the same time. A lot of nonsense, in my opinion, and also a lot of nothing moving. And so I do have a lot of questions for the RCMP right now, to be quite honest with you. Daniel is saying really in no uncertain terms that he knows Malaya is going to be imprisoned and that he's going to visit Malaya in prison with their infant Meadow. And there's these texts coming out of Malaya allegedly claiming that she knows that she's hid Lilly and Jack Sullivan. So my question to the RCMP is, why the hell is nobody knocking on their door asking what the hell? Now, I would think that they would not be saying that in their interviews that they recently did, but we're going to get to all of that. Guys, before we get started, please do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button. Would greatly appreciate it. If we get to 1,000 thumbs up, we have a mother chicken party. You don't want to miss the mother chicken party. I'm just telling you. Also, consider sharing the live out. Would greatly appreciate that on your social media. Also, become a Pearl member. We would love for you to join the Pearl family. Always looking to grow our channel, and it helps us get better content and all of that. So, if you are inclined to do that, that really makes a difference as well. So we're going to get all into it. We're going to get on to it. Rainbow says, I believe they were trafficked. I don't believe they were trafficked, in my opinion. I don't think trafficking generally is, can these children, could they? Yes. Yes. I don't see it there. Trafficking generally is older girls, generally. But that's a whole nother story. So okay, let's just get right into it. Let me pull up some stuff here, and here we go. So yeah, Daniel, he had court today. I don't know how it went as of now. He's been, all over. He's watching all of us, all of our videos, all of that. And this is something, in my opinion, that these people do to change their stories, to change what they know, or what, their story. They're adapting, more or less. So, my thing for, I just cannot believe that the RCMP has not drug them back in. Maybe they're building a case. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of. Maybe they're building a case, but it doesn't seem like they have a lot, to be quite honest with you. I don't feel like they have a lot. Thank you, Miss Sheila. I really don't. Because I was going back and I was looking at some stories of, because I really believe the first days, when things are first happening, is whenever that's gotta be our North Star, right? And someone was saying in one of these that's it said we don't have an iota, haven't found anything, an iota of where Lilly and Jack Sullivan are. And that's just a little discouraging, if you ask me. It's a little discouraging. Okay, I think it was this one. Let me see here. And I'm just like, well, that's in no uncertain terms. Looking, might be here somewhere. But I was just like, they searched every rock, every root, everything, Martel said. I've been giving them every detail, everything from my bank account statements to all of the information that came off my Google Maps. I think that's interesting. Did y'all know he said that? I've given them everything, my bank statement, even my Google Maps. Um, I just want to clear it up for everyone, not just the people online making these crazy accusations and everything else, quote, end quote, he said, quote, I asked for this early on that there's not many places that do it in Canada, meaning the lie detector test. So they're flying somebody in. Um, there we go with this superhero uh, syndrome again. I'm looking for that thing where he said the iota. I've got a lot of articles pulled up here. So, I don't know, man. It's, you know, people are okay. I got a question, y'all. What about how do y'all feel about this cousin cousin of Malaya's? What do y'all think about the cousin? Do you think he is helping or hindering? That's what I want to know. And my question is, and if he's watching, you're welcome to call in, fine, whatever. You're welcome to be in chat. My question is, if he knows so much, how does he know so much? And the RCMP and everybody else knows so little. Hey, hello, darling. Good to see you. Doobie, good to see you. Right, YouTuber. Who told him so much? That's the question. Who told him so much? And our friend, my friend and yours, let me see if I still got him pulled up. The mob crew, of course. You guys know Chris from the mob crew. I guess he's feeling better now. I left a comment, and I hope he's feeling better. So look at this. I guess he was on another. We all have that nosy family member. Yeah, but I don't think this is someone that's I mean, but that nosy family member when a child's going missing, you know what I mean? Like, I don't really know. He can't prove that he can or can't. Then says he won't say something about him because he can't prove it. So, Well, my questions was how, right? How? And he would say, well, that's what I'm trying to get to. But I'm just asking, how does he know, for instance, they were taken out of from a cart? Listen to the very specific. I want y'all to go watch Mob Crew this video uh after you're done, but I'm just going to play this little first part right here.
So what Janie heard, she heard Lily doing a little screaming thing, and she heard Jack doing something, saying something or something, and then she heard shh, shh, shh. And then her dog started barking. She woke up, she got up. She said she knew, I mean, she heard the kids, she knew the kids were supposed to be there. And she come up to Malay, and Malay was standing there with Meadow on her arm, looking at the phone. And Janie looked at Malay and said, well, where's the kids? Because she knew the kids were there. She just heard the kids. Where's the kids?
Now, this is a story that we've heard before Durwood, right? When I don't know if it was after the kids were missing. Somewhere we heard it. It was before Durwood.
Kids. And Malaya sort of looked stunned. And then, oh, she said they're in the woods. Oh, she said they're in the woods.
Welcome, Mob Crew family.
So I don't really know. I thought Janie heard the kids at 8:30 a.m. You know something? There is so many stories. I don't think they could remember it. There's so much. There's just so much. Was said by yes, that the kids were heard in the backyard, but he never said whom heard them. I do think he said something to the effect of his mom heard them, out in the what she thought they were playing out in the yard somewhere. But kids that have been stayed home for 2 days, are they going to be out in the yard playing at 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning? Yes. Yes, Joanne. Yes. Bingo. Janie heard them, but Daniel didn't. He's a light sleeper, he says. Bingo. Bingo. And that's a good point. How can Daniel's mom hear them, further away in that little RV, but there would be probably closer to the house, right? They left the house, but they didn't hear him. There is so many holes in this story. Yes, Butterfly, she is, honey. She's okay. Right? So many holes. And let's just get to it. So one thing that happens is there, the saying that there's always a little truth into every lie, and that's very true. You guys know that I really focus on a lot about timelines, alibis, and the words that they use. And most suspects tell some truth, or we're not even going to call them suspects because they've not been named as suspects publicly. But it's usually twisted. It's usually twisted. Suspects or people around a suspicious story, we'll just say, particularly if they have something to do with it. They rarely tell complete lies. They usually blended in the truth with deception. Obviously, it's strategic that that's something that they're wanting to do. It makes their story harder. It makes it harder to disprove because there is some truth into that. For instance, I went up every dirt road. I looked in culverts. I was up to water to my waist, right? A lot of that may have been true, but saying why you were up there doing something could be the false part of the story. You get what I mean? Like, yeah, you were going up dirt roads. Yeah, you were looking in culverts or in water up there, but why were you really up there? Right? It's called half truths, also called truth anchoring as well. They anchor the lie to some of that truth, right? And it's half truths, partial truth, whatever you want to call it. Things that law enforcement or people questioning can verify, but they're not going to give it all away, right? Omission versus commission of that. Uh, and generally, just like, you know, like with Durwood, he will say things like, and I genuinely want to know more to understand how he thinks in this, because he's like, you know, they took him out to the side of the road and all of this. But he's like, I haven't talked to Malaya. I want to talk to Malaya. But he's saying Malaya did it. Right. And if he hasn't talked to Malaya and Daniel isn't talking to him or confessing, and there's nothing on camera, then how do you know? Then how do you know? So my thing is, you either need to say, do you feel that this is what happened? Because your feeling about what something has happened is different than something actually happening, right? Yes, he did, JD. Yes, he did. Um, I feel that the kids are still alive and they are being hidden from Daniel and law enforcement. Uh, Colin, you might be right. I don't, in my opinion, I don't see that personally. I hope you're right. I would rather you be right than absolutely, but people's mental credibility needs to be considered. Yes, 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 Sandwich, you're absolutely right. Right. So now, also, like, even guilty people often want to seem not so bad, right? Not so bad of They're not so bad of people. They want to control the narrative. They have to control the narrative, because when it starts breaking apart, they start trying to do patchwork, right? Especially to law enforcement. That's who they really have to control the narrative with. Media, even themselves to a point, uh, they'll admit to what they think can be proven and deny the rest. People will rehearse the narratives. Many pre-plan a story with just enough facts to hold water. There is Chris Watts. Everybody remembers Chris Watts from Colorado. He initially said that his wife Shanann unalived the kids, and he unalived her in a rage. That was a partial truth wrapped in a lie, right? He didn't unalive, or he did unalive her, but it wasn't, or it was premeditated, and he killed the kids too. He told just enough of the truth to build a false narrative around what sounded plausible. Now, how detectives, the FBI, and all of these people look at things is if they, my phone just could not stop, uh changing, the chronological order of things or past tense. Suspects often tell 30 to 70% of the truth, according to the FBI, but they intentionally distort the parts that matter most, right? And that's the thing you got to look at. Most of what happened that day, right, within a 24-hour period is not the major things. It's really just the key moments. Thank you so much, Donna. Good to see some of Durwood's videos. I don't believe Durwood told RCMP the story he is telling us. I agree. Totally agree. Mhm. Yep. Thank you so much, my friend. You're on your year anniversary. Good to see you. Okay, I'll check the email. I'm going to show you some of these things that Malaya has been talking about. Okay, guys, let Durwood in here. So Durwood says, I'm actually laughing at you right now because you are speculating slow-minded turd who is totally full of and can't believe why more than 10 people even listen to you. Don't block him. Don't block him. Please call in Durwood. Listen, I'm asking. I want to know how you know so much. And someone that is challenging to understand more, that is something you shouldn't get mad at. You should, don't lower yourself. Improve your argument. How about that? Call in. Here's my number. Improve your argument. I mean, if you know 80%, I'm willing to hear it. I'm willing to hear it. Yeah. Guys, drop my number. So if he wants to call in, he is absolutely welcome to call in. I'm sure he will improve his argument. I mean, if I was 80% confident in what he said and finding these kids, I wouldn't be worried on YouTube. I'll just say that. I wouldn't be so worried on YouTube. Needs proof and to control. I just think it's very interesting how the day after Daniel's interview that he absolutely did a really, really terrible job at how he comes out and there's 80%. So, like I said, I'm willing to hear you out, but you've got to improve your argument on that. That's just the truth. Durwood, Darren, Karen, whatever. Proof is in the pudding. We were nice to him. Absolutely, we were nice to him. I'm just asking him how does he know 80%? Because he is literally saying he knows 80%. But if he said he was trying to set up something to talk with Malaya, but then after he tries to yeah, I got that photo. Yeah, someone just sent that to me. Yeah. Thank you. But then he what is that? Malaya Malaya and make Daniel look innocent. We are not, but he said that this is what I don't understand. This is what I don't understand. He said that I was being hard on Daniel the other day. And he is saying he's trying to get a hold of Malaya, which he is saying that he is related to Malaya. And Daniel is saying Malaya is going to prison. Argumentative is not asking questions. That's not being argumentative. If I just say, yep, I believe you, I believe you, I believe you, I believe you, that doesn't do anything. You know what I mean? Apparently, Paul. Apparently, yes. So there's that. Then because she couldn't deal with their special needs anymore. I don't know, but I don't like using that. I don't like using guys, please don't say did she or he KILL them. That's not a nice thing to just put in my opinion. Something may have happened. There may be involvement. Someone may know something, but just be sensitive with your words there, please. No, I don't believe someone picked them up at all. At all. Can it happen? Yes, it can. Statistically, it's highly unlikely. Statistically, right? Justin, remember what Daniel said? He and M were out with the family that Thursday evening and talked with his. Yes. Was that Durwood's son? Yes. I wonder that myself. I wonder that myself. Right. So I do know that Daniel spent 1 hour with Meadow yesterday. He did spend 1 hour with Meadow yesterday. I don't know if that's as long as they gave him or that was enough time. I don't know. So Yeah, see, this is the thing. We get this a lot out of these cases, and sometimes people who are like not into true crime or statistics, it's locals, and because they're naturally interested in what's happening in their area, their neighborhood. They people always say, I think this person was sold or they were trafficked. Let me tell you something. These cases, traffickers don't do anything that gets them attention in any shape or manner, right? Traffickers, uh, the parents would not call and say, "Oh my God, my kids walked out of the woods." I'm just telling you guys, that's not the way. That's not the way trafficking works with kids. It's just not. It's just not. We like to think of that, but traffickers, the most thing that traffickers hate is attention, right? That would I agree 1,000% sense of soul. And the thing about this is, right? He is virtually saying that he knows something happened, right? He's saying that he knows something happened. I saw him immediately and deleted his message, but sent it to Justin and I told Jarwood to come. Yeah, he's welcome to call in. Um, no, you're fine. I mean, if he's not improving his argument and he just wants to uh be rude or something, uh, that's another thing. I refuse to call this blabbering idiot again. Listen to this guy moan on and on and on and say nothing. This boy is brainless. He isn't capable of listening without interjecting his own view. Asking a question to your statement, you literally have at best a 64 IQ at best. So mods see it because it filters out, like, yeah, it's called a discussion, something that 1,000 of us are here doing nightly. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead, Darwood. Go ahead, honey. Go ahead. Uh it's amazing. Yeah, it filters out the bullshit. Like if you start cussing a lot and stuff like that, it will YouTube filters that. Like there are times like when I'm typing, uh it won't even let me type something to the chat because it thinks I'm spamming or something. So, from what I understand, he is basing most of what he is saying on Daniel's mom, but a part is missing from uh, where does he know exactly? Wanted to escape with the kids, Daniel. Well, I mean, okay, let's look at this for a second. Let's look at this. Let me pull this up because we'll see. these are some of Malaya's things that she allegedly has been recently saying. And this is from, I think, A Crying Shame. Now, I don't know. Do y'all think, a part of me wonders, are Daniel and Malaya talking some way, somehow? And then I'm like, I don't know. Thank you, Charlotte. I just believe improve your argument. You know what I mean? You can call me names till the cows come home and it does nothing for me. Cool. Cool. What is Durwood's close connection with Daniel's mom? Well, the way it's sounding, he may become the uncle cousin. He's been around her so much. That's what it's going to be. Uncle cousin. Come here, little Danny boy. Uncle cuz. All right. Here we go. Do you believe in your heart that Daniel could have hurt them? Malaya allegedly says the following. I don't know, but he's been acting suspicious and is too worried about what people think about him and not focusing on my kids at all. Everything he's doing is odd. And the police advise him to stay away from the media, to stop contacting me, and I think she means also tried to steal money from my account through Temu because my card was attached to his account. So everything is not right. Thank you, BBB. Okay. So we're worried about the Temu account. Got it. And she is saying that, and remember, RCMP said for them, they made a clarity that they can talk to the media. They never said, they just said, be careful about what you say. Right? That being said, why is she saying this? She's saying that Daniel's acting strange. Daniel is saying that she's acting strange. And I think they're both fucking strange, to be quite honest with you. I think it's really strange. I think it's really strange that you have two children, 4 years old and 6 years old, missing. And their mother, their biological mother, and Cody's the biological father, right? Listen, dude, I know that you don't have anything to do with the kids or whatever. But listen, I know your grief right now. I'm sure you have a wonderful mother, by the way. Wonderful. Love Belinda. But you've got to be an advocate there for them, Cody. Because look at what they fucking got right now. Look what they got right now. I mean, seriously. I mean, they've got a mom that's already got her other child taken away. She's hiding under something or on something or whatever. And then you've got Daniel who has literally changed his story more times than anyone could count. This has became a fucking circus. Pardon my French, but it has become a circus. These are children missing. We can't have Daniel out here acting another story every 3 days. Every 3 fucking days. Something different. Saying Malaya is going to be in prison and that you and your 16-month-old is going to visit her in prison. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. It just is. The last thing anyone wants to think is that anyone can hurt a child. Right? I don't give a damn about any side at this point. I don't give a fuck about any side. Where are these kids? And why is mom hiding and Daniel saying the shit that he's saying? I don't need a fucking side. Okay? Can somebody just speak the truth? Because obviously, in my opinion, they know the truth. I don't fucking care about sides. Daniel, you are saying that you know what happened. Then go up to the RCMP right now and say it. It's really sad to me, no matter how dysfunctional their little life is. God, it makes me want to cry. That Lilly and Jack are not where they should be. They're not where they should be. And you've got this whole family of 5. Now they are torn apart forever. Torn apart, gone. And it was presented as, oh my God, we love each other. The earth, the earth, the moon, the sun, kumbaya, all of this stuff. And now it's pure hatred toward one another. Pure hatred toward one another. Both are being deceptive right now. Both of them are being deceptive. Let's call a spade a spade. They're both being deceptive. You are being deceptive when you don't talk about what happened to your children. You are being deceptive when you tell 972 different stories. Why would a mother not be begging the RCMP to do something? Right? Why would Daniel just flat out say, I mean, even the reporter, which they don't ever get, anything, they stay pretty politically correct, big reporters. And she's like, this doesn't make any sense, right? So, I mean, if you've got mainstream media saying, "Dude, this don't look good. It doesn't make a lot of sense." Just where are they? You can see it in Daniel's interviews that he has the weight of the world on him. I done went off share. It's crazy. And this is the thing. It doesn't matter. The person that comes clean first is the person that actually gives the most amount of care for these kids. I don't think that I think there was just a lot of toxicity in that house. A lot of toxicity. I think there was jealousy. I think there was things going on in that house. And let's say I believe that the relationship was at its end. I do. I believe the relationship was at its end. Absolutely, Charlotte. Absolutely. Absolutely. And it just muddies the waters even further, saying 80%, but won't say how you know the 80%. Whenever the RCMP is saying, we don't know. And they have everything. They know what Daniel is typing to every single person, every message that he sends out, everyone Malaya sends out, from before the kids went missing, during the time the kids went missing, and every message since. Now, something is wrong. Those kids did not walk out of that house. You have to have, if you don't, I mean, there's nothing, right? There is a 4 and a 6-year-old. Do you know how long it takes? I was looking today, because we're going to get to this as soon as I shut my trap on this, because I was looking today about that 20-minute time frame, which is what this is all about. The parents say that they were dozing or asleep, right? Kids are allegedly inside playing, kitchen or the living room, right? During that 20 minutes, the kids decide to sneak out, go out the sliding glass door, undetected, without triggering the dogs, the parents, and any sort of noise. Kids, a 4 and a 6-year-old, aren't quiet like that, right? Guys, hit the thumbs up button, please. They're not quiet like that. At best, a 15-minute window. At best, they had. No one saw them on foot. Nobody heard them. No dogs barking, any of that. You know how loud Lily was. She's got good lungs on her. Nobody heard her. And if it was really just 20 minutes and the kids wandered outside and disappeared into thin air, Why wasn't the entire area locked down, Daniel, Malaya, by 8:15? No immediate police call, no community alerts, no calling the neighbors, no going over to the neighbors. Did you go over to the neighbors, Daniel, Malaya? Or did you just calmly deliver the story 2 hours later, rather? A 4 and a 6-year-old don't usually vanish into rural Nova Scotia out of thin air in 15 minutes without a trace. The 20-minute nap is not only suspicious, it's a rehearsal window that keeps them outside of accountability, in my opinion. Who mentions exactly 20 minutes? Well, they both do. That's the one thing that neither one of the stories have changed on. For a 4-year-old, guess how long it takes for a 4-year-old to put on their shoes? I don't know about you, but when my kids were small, it's a chore. It's a chore to get them on. I don't care if they're boots, I don't care if they're shoes, if they're straps, if it's a chore. How long does it take for a 4-year-old? Well, I'll tell you. I'll tell you. With no distractions, a 4-year-old, anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes average, usually needs help or at least corrections, wrong foot, right foot, Velcro's not tight, etc. 2 to 5 minutes average for a 4-year-old. Right? Two to 5 minutes when they're 4. Now, 1 to 3 minutes generally with a 6-year-old if they got to tie their shoes or whatever. Where's the boot trails? Where's the footprint trails? Wasn't it kind of wet in that area during that time? They allegedly snuck out quietly through a sliding glass door with these rubber boots. You know, rubber boots usually make a sound. I believe that boot print was set up, absolutely. Exactly, Sasha. Exactly. They generally make a sound. If you've ever had rubber boots. And they also if they're like loose across your shins, they make even another sound, right? Now, Malaya and them say that the kids were out there in the backyard playing, but they didn't know that at the time. Remember that. They didn't know that at the time. Just me. Nobody slept until 10 a.m., honey. It was about 8 a.m. whenever they noticed that they were missing. And then this is when they get up, they look inside the home, they look outside. Now, recently, Daniel says he runs to where they get their whatever, their little forts, I guess, whatever they are. And now there's a 2-hour window. right? So, hold on, is he back? Oh, okay, Durwood. We're gonna take care of you. Either call in, improve your argument, or call in. It's really that simple. Okay, because every second matters. Absolutely, every second matters. Because when you can blow up the timeline, you got to obliterate it. And let me tell you something. That 20 minutes of bullshit is nothing more than 20 minutes of bullshit. That's exactly what that 20 minutes is. And anyone with a brain knows better. It's complete bullshit. I don't care if it was Daniel. I don't care if it was Malaya. I don't give a damn which one it is. Both of them need to tell what they know because both of them clearly know more. Clearly know more. He's got my number. Right? The 307 number, guys. Mods. Right? So there's that. Now, let's say it takes them during this 20 minutes. We got 20 minutes that they said up to 20 minutes. Right? Up to 20 minutes. Daniel, Malaya, depends who's asleep and who's not, which story. But in Daniel's most recent one, he says he was not even near asleep, and Malaya Lily keeps coming in and out. And he tells her to go back out. Well, it takes you to actually, let's say he's just said, okay, Lily, go out. And then he, kind of lays back down. It's going to take a couple minutes for that. Okay. The kids are going to be out there playing. Clearly, out in the living room and the kitchen playing. Right? That's going to take another couple minutes. Let's say 2 minutes that it takes them to put on their shoes and get that door open quietly. Right? By the time the last time Daniel says, Lily, be quiet. We're trying to sleep. Which I don't know why they're not giving those kids any attention because they're supposedly sick and home from school, but no breakfast, anything else. Did anyone speak to even Lily and Jack that morning to see how they were? Did anyone give a damn that morning to see if the kids were okay? Hold on. It just says, hello, please state your name. Hold on, I'll restart it just in case. I'll restart it. Well, that is what? Let's say it takes 2 minutes for him to go back to, Daniel and them to go to sleep. Let's be extremely generous and say the kids was getting their shoes on 2 minutes after Daniel said, the kids are just give it a second. It's my computer, not my phone. Whoever's calling, call straight back. Whoever is calling, call straight back. Just call right back so I can fix it. So that's 9 minutes. That's 9 minutes out of the 20 minutes. Right, Rainbow. It's freaking weird. It's freaking weird. So 9 minutes. Well, there's only 12 minutes left. How far is a 4 and a 6-year-old going to go? This case is literally getting to me. I just feel like Daniel and Malaya can solve it quickly by telling the truth. I agree. See, Taylor. Hi, darling. Yeah, it only took Daniel 30 seconds to run up into the woods to check the cabins. Yeah. Yes, if someone knows 80%, how do you get the 80%? And this is the thing. If he's getting this, thank you, Jennifer. Appreciate you, honey. If he is getting the information from Daniel's mom, then how the hell does Daniel's mom know? Let's be clear. If he's saying, well, Daniel's mom knows, again, they're saying they don't know anything, but now they're saying they know stuff. What the hell? Right? Is someone trying to call? That person, I'll call them back. Hope they don't mind. Here, I'll call him. Give me 1 second, y'all. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, you called?
Yeah, it's the Torontonian calling.
Hey, how are you doing?
Oh, not bad yourself.
Oh, I'm frustrated.
Yeah, I know.
With
I get it. But listen, the reason why someone just said that I must be related to Darren, Darwood. No, I'm in Toronto. I don't know these people.
Yeah.
And I said I got your back because I grew up on the East Coast. That's just what you do.
Right.
Because when you listened to him on Crime and Shame last night, his story does add up. But now he's saying that the grandmother, not the grandmother, she's Daniel's mother, so she's not biological. We can say grandmother in a way, but it's not biological. You know what I mean?
Right.
So Janie's coming out with the story now that she heard Lily and Jack outside because them trailers on the East Coast, like you could have your window open, you're going to hear Lily's. She said that Lily screamed. Okay.
Right.
So she heard the kids outside. She went outside, and when she went outside, a couple minutes later, she seen Malaya at the road. At the road, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the story that Malaya gave away the kids, right? At the end of the road. So I believe it. I 100% believe that story. But throws me through the loop is Daniel, remember their stories? Oh, well, we woke up, we heard the kids in the kitchen playing in the next room and blah, blah, blah. And Malaya says, I asked my partner, Daniel, do you hear the kids? And then Daniel on one of the interviews said that he said to her, do you hear the kids? So this story with Janie's got me thrown through the loop now because of Daniel and Malaya's interviews. That stated, they woke up, You know, the kids, they didn't hear the kids after 20 minutes, blah, blah, blah.
Why?
But Janie, the mother,
But
is saying that,
go ahead.
when, like I said, the story with the road, right? So this is all mixed now. I think Daniel and Malaya are lying. I believe Janie. And I said that them two should be charged with obstruction of justice. That's my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe Darren because Darren has no reason to lie. You know?
Well,
I really do believe him.
I mean,
I really do.
I mean,
I believe him more than I believe Daniel and Malaya. You know what I mean?
I don't believe any of them. I don't believe any of them.
Yeah. See, I believe it because you know what? How would they? I mean, how would Malaya have killed? How would they have killed them kids if the grandmother's saying, well, let's call her Janie, the grandmother, if she's saying that she heard them kids that morning? Where would Malaya get time? Think about it now. With all this, you know, where would she have time that morning to kill these kids or Daniel?
Well, I mean, there's more things than just killing them. You know, I don't like using that word, but you know, something could have happened Thursday night.
Okay, but I agree with what you're saying there. If we don't believe with Janie's story, Janie was also on chat last night.
It just takes minutes. It doesn't take long. It doesn't take long.
But then you have to get out with the bodies, right? Then you have to get out with these two little bodies, and I just can't see it.
Right.
The only thing I can think of, maybe the grandmother's lying. Maybe the three of them are lying. That's the next thing but I really do believe.
Why didn't they? Why isn't Grandma? Why isn't Daniel? Why are they changing their stories now?
I don't think Grandma did. I don't think the grandmother did.
Well,
not Janie. Maybe Daniel. Daniel's changed his stories. Yeah. Apparently, he told Durwood, right, that he lied for Malaya. He told him straight out, and he said last night. He said, Daniel, if you're in the chat, I'm telling everybody right now. You said you lied for Malaya. It's worthwhile watching that channel.
Well, this is the thing. Whatever it is, the RCMP needs to be knocking on Daniel's door pronto.
Justin, don't even go there with the RCMP because I phoned them about this story. I phoned them about this thing with Janie twice. They never called me back. I don't know. Maybe they're busy, but I have no use.
And let me just say something. Like Daniel, if you lied for whatever reason for a woman about two kids missing, you're as equally a piece of a shit for doing that.
Yes, of course. I think somebody's lying there because look at the interviews between Daniel and Malaya, right? Saying they woke up that morning, they heard Jack was in the kitchen, one in the bedroom playing, and yet the story goes over to Janie that heard the kids outside, came out, and she seen at that time Malaya was at the road, and then apparently Daniel woke up and come outside and was all in huffy puffy. Where's the kids? And Malaya says they're in the woods. So you know what I mean? It's just these three should be taken in and I don't know, charged, in my opinion. But I do believe Darren. I can't see why Janie would lie. Maybe Janie's telling the truth. Daniel and Malaya are definitely lying.
Well, this is the thing. I'm going to have to hear that from her mouth before I'm actually going to believe it, though.
Yeah, she was in It's a Crime and Shame last night. Belinda was in there.
No, but like it,
grandmother.
But
Jamie.
Was she vocally saying it, or was it a chat?
No, it was just a chat. See, I get what you're saying.
No, see, these people do sick things. They do sick things. They make up names with Jamie. They make up names and all that. I've seen it 1,000 times, especially in 100%. Summer Wells' case.
Yeah. But really, I do truly believe that two of them, Daniel and Malaya, are the biggest liars ever that walked from this, especially with two missing children. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Exactly.
And it's disgusting. And I don't know why the RCMP cannot just charge them some way. There's got to be some shape, form, way. Like their interviews.
If they're saying I mean, Daniel is publicly saying that he knows more. And like they could bust him for, arrest him for lying at the very least.
I'm just wondering if he is charged right as we speak. I'm just wondering. I don't know if we can look it up, but I wonder if he is charged with obstruction of justice, which he should be.
Like, we just need these kids found. Oh my God. Like, it's driving me
I know.
nuts.
I know I get anxiety too, and I'm really on this case. I focus a lot. I look a lot up on it. It's the only one that really affects me. I don't know why, but I guess because two children. Every case affects me, but and this one being close to home because I grew up next to Nova Scotia, over Prince of Island. So, but yeah, two here. They need to they need to be arrested and just kept there. In the
Yeah.
cell, separate cells.
Sure.
Bottom line.
Thank you, Charlotte. Charlotte makes a good point. We need to know who called the school. From all we know, Malaya was asleep with the baby. She was relaying information from Daniel and Janie, just like Darwood is doing. And yeah, like, who did this 6:15 a.m.? Because whoever did this 6:15 a.m., in my opinion, that's going to tell a lot.
But apparently that Daniel, in one of his interviews, I don't know if you've seen it, but he said, "Oh, I got to clear up a few things. This 6:15 a.m. call to the school is nonsense. I got an email when we made the call. That's on a video, right? You seen that on the interview?
No. Where was this?
Yes, there's an interview out there with that Daniel speaking, and also there's an interview which I've been trying to clear up a couple days ago with CBC News with the RCMP, and I forget her name, Kate. I don't know her name, but whatever her name is. She was saying, the kids were seen the day before in public, and he said yes. The RCMP said, and she said, how are they seen? He goes, we cannot disclose anything about that. So they could be gone longer. I've been saying this all the time.
Well, they were
possibly be gone longer.
They were seen
Why
in a
would the
shopping
RCMP
mall.
say? No, that's not true, Justin. That's not true.
No, I'm pretty sure that's.
If you go back to that interview
Uh-huh.
a couple days ago, it'll tell you. They were not seen on camera footage at no mall. Daniel said that. That's a big horse shit. That's all horse shit that comes out of his mouth.
I'll show you where my source on that where it's coming from, because I'm pretty sure they were seen in that shopping mall.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I've never seen that or heard that, and I watched all of them. But the main news that you can really rely on is the RCMP or CBC. That global news and all that is no. That's worldwide, right? I don't have much faith in that.
Yeah.
But the CBC News, yes, a couple days ago, you can play it whenever you wish.
Where was that?
CBC.
Is he talk about the 6:15 there?
No, that's not the 6:15. That's about the children being seen in public the day before.
Yeah, I want to know.
That they cannot.
I want to know about.
Because you know what it is, Justin. Because somebody told the police that an eyewitness, and I read up on eyewitness. They can be discredited because it's not solid evidence. So that's why the police is not coming out and saying these children were spotted on.
No, it had for the RCMP to say that the kids were seen, they're not going to take someone's account. It has to be a video of some sort.
Well, that's what I mean. They're not saying they were. He just said we will not answer that because they're still invested. It's not true. That's why they can't. Because what are they going to lose by coming out and saying yes? We can guarantee 100%.
Well, but the RCMP did confirm that they did confirm that they were seen. They just didn't confirm how they were seen.
Exactly, and the reason why they're not going to confirm how is because they have no camera footage, and the eyewitness is not credible. If you type in,
I'm going to disagree with you on that. I'm going to disagree with you on that because I.
Okay, because I looked up the credit the eyewitness, and that's what comes up.
Credit.
So want to investigate that?
So maybe send that to me. I want to see it. I'll hear you out.
Yeah, if you just type in the internet, if you just type in an internet, is an eyewitness credible in say I don't know what kind of case, missing kids case,
mm-hmm.
and it'll tell you. You know what I mean? Okay. It's like circumstantial evidence. They don't have full, not this case, but any case, circumstantial evidence is not full hardcore evidence. It's circumstantial. They can't prove, you know what I mean? They don't, you know, as opposed to having all the evidence. Do you understand? So an eyewitness kind of fits in that category.
Mm-hmm.
Once you type it in, once you go back and review that CBC video, I think it's about 18 minutes or something like that a couple days ago, and then you type in eyewitness and type in that information, and you're going to see. Daniel already lied about being up that morning, right, and saying he ran through water and all. You know, that's all crock of bull.
Okay.
So then him being at the mall is another crock of bull. When I hear the RCMP coming out and saying that he was spotted on camera footage at the mall, I mean, why can't they release that to the public if it's true? You know what I mean? That's nothing.
My thing is the 6:15 call. That's what I want to know. Who did the 6:15 a.m. call? Or email
heard that either, Justin. I never heard that from anybody.
Or whatever.
I think that was spewed around on messages on the internet from Daniel.
Well,
you know what I mean? Because the RCMP doesn't say that. I don't believe it.
Daniel did say that Malaya used his phone, if I recall correctly. That Malaya used his phone. And I thought that was very strange. Why wouldn't she use
her phone?
Her phone.
Yeah. They're liars. They're both liars.
I know. Why are they lying on these two kids?
Yep, and the police also did say that they're when you play that video there, the police also did say that they're taking up, you know how people are saying, you know, they've been spotted in other parts of other provinces and stuff like that. They said that they're following up on all them leads. They have 500 leads. So, you know, it takes time, right? And the reason I called them is because of the story with Janie. I thought, okay, Daniel Malaya's interview is not adding up. But now we have Janie in the picture saying that she heard the kids. She went out. And then all of a sudden she seen Malaya at the end of the driveway. And apparently Daniel comes out and asks Malaya, where are the kids? Or Janie said, where are the kids? Malaya says, no. And Daniel comes running out like a, you know, panic mode. So he heard the ruckus. He said, where are the kids? And they said they was in the woods. So what happened to their interviews? They woke up at this time. See what I mean? I don't believe any of that
they're
stuff.
both ass lying. And it's
and they're both in jail and sit there with no food, no water, no nothing. Sorry. And put them in there until one of them cracked. Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's my opinion. That's the way I see everything. And because I went back and watched all them videos on CBC and stuff, right? When someone says Daniel, I don't even know if Daniel really did see his kid yesterday. Someone's got a picture of him up there. But I mean, who knows? Like we don't have a full proof of that, right? Either. You know what I mean? We're just going with the flow.
It's time that Malaya, get your ass up and go to the RCMP. Daniel, get your ass up and go to the RCMP and say what you know. We're at 7 weeks. 7 weeks, these babies. We have no idea where they are.
And you know the funny part is, when I called the RCMP, I told the crew there online, and the one that's saying that I'm something bit of moron or something, I must be related because I got their back. I just tell people that if I believe in you, I got your back. That's it. But that's irrelevant to me if you're related to Daniel or this, whatever. You know what I mean? I'm in Toronto. I don't know these people. But the thing is, when I phoned in the RCMP, it's kind of funny because I said, I seen a video. I said to a family member, and the lady on the phone, she said, Darren. So I know his name right on the phone with all of the number.
Right.
They knew his name. I said, a family member? Is it Darren? She said. So he must have been down there, like just you know, spewing at these police because they know his name.
Yeah.
Right on the phone. This is Spencer.
So
how is she, you know?
Jane, thank you so much. She says, hi, the RCMP contacted the school and they sent 2 emails saying it was 6:17, that Malaya who phoned and left messages. Yeah. the RCMP contacted the school and they sent 2 emails saying it was 6:17 that Malaya who phoned and left messages that the kids weren't going to be at school. And I mean, it's just, in my opinion, it is too early to be sending 6:17 in the morning saying the kids aren't going to be at school. That's too early.
But you can leave a voicemail.
Yeah, but
Justin,
regardless,
yeah,
it doesn't.
I've had kids
You can.
myself.
I don't care if you can leave a voicemail. You can leave a fax. You can, send a carrier pigeon, send Morse code. That doesn't matter to me. It's that it's 7 or 6:17 in the morning.
Yeah,
most
but
people would
I'm
call
not
about
saying
when the
like
school
that.
opened.
Yeah, I know they will get the messages when they get in, but for them to call that early and say the kids aren't going, that gives a timeline too that they were up obviously at 6:15, right? That's the only thing I would say is
Right.
relevant. But
They're up. They're up.
So I
Somebody's
get what
up
you're
at
saying there.
6:17. And
Yeah.
they're suddenly back asleep at 7:30. Well,
I believe they were up all night.
I do
myself,
too.
and
I
whoever
I
was
think
in
they
bed-
were up all fucking night.
Oh, yeah. And if Danny's lying, the kids could have went missing since the 27th. You know what I mean? Because it goes way back with me. I think that's why the police wanted to. I think that's why they wanted that footage to see from the 27th up. Why would you? I mean, no one's going to be scaling the area or scoping the area. I think this all runs in. They don't believe the parents that the kids went missing that morning. I think this would give them the chance from the 27th up. Because, like I said about that video camera thing, when you see the CBC thing, he says, "No, we're not going to talk about that because it's bullshit."
Mm-hmm.
I could say, Justin, my brother's here and you're here. Justin, please say that, you spotted us in public yesterday just to get the police off my back. That's all that is.
Mm-hmm.
That's what them just making up a bag of shit. Excuse my language, but I think Daniel and Malaya are both liars and pathological at that.
I think they were
that's my
toxic as
opinion.
hell.
Yeah, and I think they, you know what? I'm just saying, I'm not violent. But of course, Malaya and Daniel, everybody's going to get threats.
Right.
They're going to get threats. These two precious little children missing. Some people don't take that lightly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Someone's going to probably say, I'll beat your face in. I don't know what people are saying, what kind of threats they're getting, but it's society. That's today's society. They make fun, they threaten. I'm not, engaging in that behavior. I'm just saying it's, and they deserve to be told and not I can't say threatened because I don't want to get in trouble. But I mean, they deserve to be told off and bashed because they have all the answers.
Mm-hmm.
And they're sending these, police on a wild goose chase.
And here's the thing: what time did she call the day before? What time did Malaya call on Thursday to tell the school that the kids weren't going to be there?
Yeah, you know what, Justin? That's why I think this all sounds so convenient.
It's all convenient. It's all convenient. They was
kept the kids
taking a nap for 20 minutes.
They were gone before this. I got to figure it out now. Now I'm thinking that they're gone before this because they called them in sick. I don't think they were sick at all. It's just, right?
Yeah.
I think they're planning all this up, and whatever happened to these kids, they had plenty of time to bury them or put them in water.
Yeah.
Speculation, my speculation. Or they had time to pawn them off, whatever, give them to somebody, take them somewhere. I just don't see the purpose.
Right.
Because she knew, like, you're not going to see her. Does she see these two kids right now? Like, these precious Lilly and Jack? Like, that's the mother. And now she lost Meadow. Like, you were 3, now you're down to nothing.
Yeah.
And was it all worth it?
Yeah. Hey, other people are wanting to call in, my dear, so I'm going to let them call in. Thank you so much for calling. I appreciate you.
Opinion, though.
I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
You're welcome.
Sorry, I'm muted. They go by that house either way, right? every day they go by that house either way, whether the kids go to school or they don't. So I I don't really believe that. I think, Daniel said that his phone. Clutch your pearls and wind your ass. How can I help you? Share. Papa, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Okay, there we go. Sorry. There we go.
Okay, hold on. Let me turn my volume up. Okay, wait. Can you hear me better?
Yep.
Okay. All right. I'm glad she ended that call with saying that that's her opinion because, well, I also am in Canada and we know lots of other people have been in touch with the RCMP too. So just a reminder, that they were seen on video and it was brought up at one of the press conferences. I'll find which one.
Mhm.
But the RCMP doesn't owe public showing any videos to prove anything. It's an open investigation.
That's true.
So they're not going to go put the video out. That didn't, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's probably safer to make sure we make it clear it's our opinions because none of us know. It doesn't matter if we call into the RCMP or not. But yet, I mean, and as far as wanting the videos from April 28th and forward, that could be anything. Like they had said, it could be because maybe someone was in town that shouldn't have been in town or whatever. But they're, just being pretty thorough anyway. Or it could have been due to some kind of tip. But as far as us not getting a video or the law showing proof of the video, there is a video and they don't owe us. That's all I really wanted to remind people. Like they're not, just because they don't put it out doesn't mean that it doesn't exist or that it's a lie and made up.
I'm pulling it up right now. Where they said it.
I was gonna say something else too, but now I forget. But I'll hop back up when I remember. I'm going back in chat.
What do you have any? Did you? What do you think happened? Do you have an idea? You want to say or no?
Which part?
All of the cluster fuck that's going on.
Oh, I got lots of ideas. Let me drink a hot tea and I'll pop back up in a little bit.
Okay, I got you.
Okay.
All right, honey. Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay. This is from the RCMP page. From the RCMP page. Okay. RCMP. Right there. Thank you so much. Who do we got to thank here? Thank you again, Charlotte. I appreciate you, my dear. Thank you so much. And thank you, Jane. Appreciate you. Good to see you as well. Mary, thank you so much for your support, my dear. Really do appreciate that. Very, very much. So good to see you always, Mary. And Jane, welcome to the Pearl family. Really do appreciate you. Y'all welcome Jane to the Pearl family. Appreciate you. Because there is so much misinformation about this. Let's figure what it says out. Based upon details we've gathered so far, we've confirmed that Lilly and Jack were observed in public with family members on the afternoon of May 1st, quote, end quote, says Corporal Sandy Mathrew. I always forget how to say her name. Mathrew. Okay, I was right. Northeast Nova Scotia RCMP Major Crime Unit. Quote, we're now asking anyone who has dash camera footage or video along Gairloch Road between noon on April 28th and noon through noon May 2nd to contact us. Investigators remain committed to exploring all possibilities surrounded the children's disappearance. To date, more than 355. Okay, we know all about that. So let's see here. Based upon what we've gathered so far, we've confirmed that Lilly and Jack were observed in public with family members on May 1st. There's got to be some sort of, I mean, they were obviously seen, in my opinion, on camera. They're just not going to take some person's account for it, right? I just don't see it. I just don't see it. Let me put this up. Lilly and Jack. Okay. It's very frustrating whenever. Okay, making sure it's very frustrating whenever Walmart video, in my humble opinion, it's got to be something like that. Now, someone could have called in and said, "Hey, I remember seeing Lilly and Jack, you know, with their family on, this evening." And the police are like, "Okay, good." And I'm sure they went there and they had to pull up the camera footage, right? So that's what, they're, I would assume that they're referring to. Um, okay. So let's, hey, and what's interesting here as well, let me know if my mic is too loud. By the way, they want to know 2 hours after 2 hours after Lilly and Jack went missing. And you're like, well, what the hell could that be? Why do they want to know 2 hours after Lilly and Jack went missing? And because I was kind of probing my brain, I'm like, why would they want to know 2 hours after Lilly and Jack were found? You notice that too, Mama Angie? And Daniel says something interesting. Thank you, Rainbow. He says in one of his stories that I wasn't there for a lot of the time. I'm paraphrasing. When they were first started looking for Lilly and Jack. And he said, because I was out looking for them. You guys remember him saying that in one of his video interviews? And I kind of thought maybe that's why they're wanting to see what Daniel was doing around that time. That extra 2 hours when he is out and about. Because I don't believe either parent, in my personal opinion. So I think, in my opinion, and I'm just one of 7 billion people on the planet, but I think they both equally know what the hell happened, and they are trying to lay the groundwork to throw each other under the bus. And the clean four-wheeler went into water. I don't know. I think Daniel was up to no good. I mean, that interview where Daniel talks about him not being home, that will never get out of my head. That will never get out of my head. Him saying, yeah, I wasn't home for a lot of the morning or whatever. Does anyone remember which interview that was? Let's see here. Daniel. Let me see if I can find it. Which interview where Daniel Martel says he wasn't home a lot of the morning. He um he remarks he wasn't home a lot of the morning on May 4th interview with the Globe and Mail. It was at the very beginning. I know that. And the very beginning interviews are the ones you really got to watch out for. Let's see here. Here we go. Let me pull this up. Pulling it up, guys. 1 second. Daniel is doing everything he can for the kids. And look, the Globe and Mail. Let's see here. I don't want. Let me get the news. Maybe it's under the news. Here we go. All right. Let's pull this up, guys. If anybody wants to call in, you're welcome to call in. I'll take some calls as well. Miss Armstrong said he is personally committed to. Okay. This one is from June 19th. No, we need the Globe and Mail where he says this. How do you search on these? Hello.
Hi, Justin.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. I've been worrying a lot about this story.
I know it's bad, isn't it?
Yeah. I live in Canada here, and I'm about the age of the parents.
Uh-huh.
So a lot of the attitudes of different players do make sense to me. You know how people may be a bit more shy with the media or leaking less information because we're not used to like social media and true crime as much maybe as you guys are in the US.
Meaning like Malaya?
Yeah, for example, Malaya or even Janie or, you know, other people. Like some family members have talked with the official news, but you don't see a lot of things on social media, for example.
Are you a mom?
Yes, I am. I have 3 kids, and it really breaks my heart.
So could I'm
Hi?
genuinely asking, if you're a mom, could you stay silent?
Hi?
Could you stay silent? If
It's cutting. I don't.
you can't hear me?
Yes, sorry, it's cutting. I don't know why. Maybe it's my.
Are
Yeah,
you-
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. Yeah. You hear me?
Okay, I was. Yes, I hear you.
Okay. Okay. So you said you're a mom, right?
Yeah, I'm a mom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now if you
One of
if you was if God forbid, you know, one of your kids
Yeah.
went missing, could you stay silent?
me personally, no.
Mhm.
But I have people in my family that have suffered domestic violence.
It's different.
And,
It's different.
suffered with
DV is
mental health
different.
and
DV is different because you're trying to protect your life, right? That's deep.
Yeah, but it comes with often it comes with specific personality types. If she was before in a very violent relationship, that's what the grandmother said and other people said.
Yes, but
And if she was again in a controlling relationship, maybe she's scared of how she would be perceived. We don't know what she went through with the other separation, for example.
yes,
But
but
yeah, it's suspicious. I don't think it's normal. I don't think it's normal. I don't
no,
think
it's definitely
she
not
should be
normal.
doing
But
this.
the thing about it
Yeah,
is
yeah,
like if she, if she was suffering from DV, right? Like I would understand more of being quiet as far as, but this is the thing, she's out from that now,
yeah,
and she's been out from that since practically day one. And she has
yeah. But
stated, but
her,
hold on, she has stated that she does not know what happened to the kids or anything like that. So we can't say it's DV at this point. All we know is that the kids are missing.
we cannot say that, but there are indicators. For example, that she lost contact with a lot of the people in her life. That she was living in that trailer home. That, for example, people, there were rumors that maybe she didn't have access to her own money, or maybe she had concerns about physical violence in the home. That CPS was called. I mean, I'm not sure. I'm saying it's maybe one of the factors, but she's also with her native relatives. And here in Canada, they might be advising her not to be open. We don't know if she's cooperating with RCMP, but they might be advising her to keep very discreet.
I listen.
Public.
I get that, but why?
Yeah.
I'm not saying go out and search for your kids. I'm saying advocate for your kids. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but
Advocate.
yeah,
Get
so,
on the, because there is nobody. I cannot advocate. You cannot advocate. Nobody can advocate for their kids like the parents, right? I'm
yeah,
saying, Malaya,
that's true.
get out there, do an interview, and say what
Yeah,
Jack and Lily liked, what
yeah,
what you think happened uh, to these
yeah.
kids or whatever. Clear up some of these misconceptions. You know what I
Well,
mean?
one of my theory, yeah, I totally agree with you. I could never, as a mom. I mean, I would be out there like doing everything. I mean, I would be even I'm not their mom, and I want to go in the woods.
Yes.
So I don't understand that. But one of my theory that I've been thinking about is maybe she wanted to get out. Maybe she wanted to organize, a form of escape with the help of relatives because she didn't want to have a fight. And maybe that's why the kids were at home a few days that week, because she was trying to like get out with them. But I'm thinking maybe Daniel got wind of that. Could that be a possibility? Like
That
maybe
Daniel
I'm
what?
crazy, but I was just thinking, like, would that be a possibility?
I didn't hear what one of the words you said. Daniel what?
That he would have found out that she was trying to leave.
Well, yeah, that's a possibility. It sure is. Yeah, I would say that's true.
And
But
then she might have been confused about who took the kids. Maybe she thought her relative came and took the kids, and it took until she was reunited with them that they told her that.
No, you would say something. You would say something. The only way people hide things is because they don't want you to know that. This is the thing. I always say in true crime, people who have nothing to hide nothing. I say it over and over and over. In crime, or when something happens, it's generally, we all think very much similarly when we're put in a similar position. There's only so many options, right? Like, let's
True.
pretend we're at that home that morning, and I'm telling Daniel, I'm done with you.
Yeah.
Just let me go and all of this. And he falls into a rage. And
But I'm thinking more that he could have accepted messages, like that he would have found out through,
okay.
looking at her messages,
So
looking
this,
at her phone,
okay.
or hearing things,
All right, let's take your point.
or having,
Let's take
I'm
your
just
point.
wanting to explore it because it
Okay.
makes sense to me with other elements, but it might not.
So let's say Daniel finds a text and Malea's talking to another man, right? Let's say
or relative that she wants to leave.
that she's cheating, or she wants to be gone.
Yeah.
Daniel flies into a rage and unalives the kids, hypothetically.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you say, you motherfucker, you just hurt my kids, I'm calling the cops right now, or at the soonest point?
Yeah, but what I was thinking was not that she would know about it. What I was thinking is her trying to escape, not with someone she was cheating on, but with relatives, and that before she got to do that, he had the kids gone, as a way of like keeping her there. But she might have not known that he did that. It's just
I
for
see
her.
so you're
she
saying
woke up
like
that morning.
he hid the kids before, like you're saying she didn't know that he knew that the kids, or that she was that she was already planning this, and he hid the kids prior to that.
Yeah, because from what I hear from her, I like, as people keep on saying that she's lying, but I don't see necessarily a lie, because she only talked really once, and what she said was like she didn't know they were outside, but she learned after that they were playing outside. So what I understand is people like Daniel and his mother told her, yes, they were awake, yes, they were.
No, it had,
yes,
it can't be Daniel either, because Daniel and her are saying the same story, that they're both in bed, right? So if that is the truth, then it had to come from Daniel's mother.
Said that he saw Lily.
He said what?
Yeah, but he said he saw Lily, that she was like peeking in her head,
That was in the house.
He did say
that was in the house. Yeah, in the house though.
Yeah, in the house. In the house. Yeah. But from her interview, all she's saying is like, I was told that the kids got out and we didn't hear that they got out. So I don't see like a lie. I see more like that's the information she was given, and she's like relaying the information, and that she didn't know. She might be lying. I'm not saying that. I think it's suspicious. I think a mom should be out there. I think there's something wrong that was happening in the house, because there was, allegation of abuse. When CPS comes in Canada, it has to be pretty bad. They don't just show up for little things,
right.
But I don't see her lying about that morning or about the situation. I see that Daniel changed his story so many times, and he goes from like adoring her and hating her. Like, it changes like every day. And that's, to me, disturbing and an indication that he's unhealthy, in regards to her.
I think they're both equally unhealthy.
Yeah.
I really do. I think they're one and the same at this point. I don't favor one over the other. I really don't at all. I don't. I can't.
Well, that's sad, because to me, that's sadder, because it means that if they both know, to me, that's even sadder. Maybe it's just that as a mom, I don't want to see that.
I don't see how
You
they
know,
couldn't
yeah.
know.
And
I,
I get your point.
I just don't
Yeah.
see how they couldn't know, to be honest with you.
Well, thank you for talking to me.
Thank
It
you
helps
so
me to make
much.
sense
I appreciate you, my
of
dear.
my thoughts, and thank you for everything you're doing.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Cry. She doesn't scream their names. She doesn't run into the woods. She says she heard them playing, then nothing. No signs of forced. Everything feels scripted. This is the
Second.
And I want them home. What happened was
I do think Malaya is a very soft-spoken person. I do think that, but there could be, something more to that. I don't know. Hello?
Justin?
Yes, dear. How are you?
Hi, fine. How are you? This is Mary Lopez.
Hi, Mary.
First of all, I want to say thank you so much for keeping awareness out there for Lily and Jack. You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
And I also wanted to say I do agree with you 100% that I think that they're both involved somehow.
Yeah.
They both either have guilty knowledge or knows what the other one did or something like that. And I agree with Ginger and educated guess. I just don't really know if the other people were put in as diversions or
Right.
if they're valid. They should talk to the RCMP maybe.
Bingo.
Because
Don't come to us. Talk to the
it's not
RCMP,
helping.
please. Exactly.
I agree because it's not helping at all. And also, only one more thing, because I know you have other people that you need to talk
You're
to,
fine.
but I think the RCMP it could help out at least eliminating the possibilities of babies that are just out there in the woods by using cadaver dogs. I know I researched it, and they at least have 10 dogs. And so if they could do that and just eliminate a lot of area or whatever, at least we would know they're not just lost there without them being there. And yet that's very sad for me. So anyway, but thank you so much for what you're doing.
What is your thought about they haven't used cadaver dogs yet?
No, they haven't.
That's
And that's the
crazy.
thing. I know
They're saying we think they're dead, and they haven't used cadaver dogs yet. Like, that's nuts to me.
Right. I agree, 100%. And I don't know why other people aren't talking about that more, or put the community putting pressure on them. Hey, get the dogs. Let's see what we have here. And then that will shut everybody up if they're, because everybody wants to have hope about missing children. Everybody wants to hope, pray that they're alive and safe somewhere else. And I'm guilty of that too. But at the same time, statistics and reality, it just doesn't support it.
It doesn't.
So
no.
Why doesn't the RCMP just go a little bit extra to put the dogs there? I don't know how it's too expensive or something, but put the dogs there that way. At least we'll know, or we'll be closer than we are now.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they've made it very, there's two things that they have kind of made more clear than anything since the beginning. And one is after, I think, 5 days, they said they don't believe the kids are alive. And number two, they said they don't believe that they were taken by someone, like some stranger, if you will.
Exactly. So if they come to that conclusion, well, then the only conclusion left is that they're out there in the woods somewhere, which is horrifying for me to think of my babies being out in the woods somewhere, personally. And I'm sure Malaya has her reasons for not talking. I don't know her situation, so I can't really judge what's going on with her. But Daniel's saying one thing, and they're trying to pass off this narrative that's hopeful and they're going to be okay. They know they're safe, and I just don't buy it. I'd love to buy it, but my other part of my brain is telling me no. That's not the reality. Unfortunately, it's not the reality. So
I know a lot of times people say, Justin, why are you always harping on these parents like that? And I'm like, listen, there's nothing. The last thing someone wants to think about is a parent doing something to their children, right? That's the last thing you want happens. I say all the time, I hope you are right, that they are someone, she gave them away to someone. I hope that's the thing. But I I've been in this way too long. I'm telling you statistically. And the reason these cases blow up the way that they do is because something's wrong here. Something's wrong.
Yes, it's just not all adding up. And the little bit the RCMP could do by just setting some cadaver dogs out just for a day or two. I don't know how long it takes to run them, but they had the sniffer dogs at the beginning that said they lost their trace at the driveway or whatever. So I know, and I also, like I said, I did some research, and they do have cadaver dogs. They just need to bring those out to try to do maybe what places that the volunteers couldn't reach or couldn't get to, or were covered up or whatever. I really want this to, even though like you said, I'm just so grateful that you dug into this case like you have, and you spread the awareness about it and kept facts out there and stuff, even though there are always people that want to believe in the best, that's going to be the best turnout. Like, everybody wants it to be a positive turnout, but it's not always going to be that way. Especially, it's been like almost 8 weeks now, so it's just like, let's we don't want to see it go on. We do want justice for these children. They're innocent little babies, and we want justice. And if they wait so long, it just deflates me every time that
Yes.
It's another week goes by,
and
thank you for your hard work.
The little girl, we did get some good news the other day about the little girl that was found in a field. Thank God, she's okay. So that was
so refreshing.
Yeah, and I tell you, another day, I don't think it would have happened as
I agree with you.
Yeah, a little clearer about
100%. And that's like so beautiful and lucky, and that child is definitely she's just an angel, poor thing. She's probably gonna have a lot of, hopefully she won't remember it, but I'm sure she's gonna have some trauma of some kind when she gets older. And I think this is a totally different situation, and I know everyone was really happy and kind of on a high that she was found, so maybe that kind of spilled over into the Jack and Lily case, maybe. But we got to look at the facts, and I like the way you present it, and you keep your awareness alive for everybody. And I just think that you've been from the start. You said something's weird, and you don't blame it on one parent or the other.
I don't think we can blame it on one parent or the other in this, because they started out with the same stories, and now they're both just so you got the mom allegedly says she's put the kid somewhere, and then you got Daniel allegedly saying he's going to see Malay in prison with his daughter.
I know, it's so confusing. It's so confusing.
Crazy. It's crazy.
Yes, it's crazy. So to me, I clearly think that both parents know, and maybe they're trying to use each other as an alibi, and that way none of them will go to jail. I don't know how that works in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not familiar with the legal system at all, but I just pray these babies are found. And if the RCMP could put cadaver dogs out there, and if I knew anybody in the RCMP, I would ask them to do that, because I think that would make that would go one step further in helping this case go along. If they can eliminate them being anywhere near the property, or at least some proximity of the property, around the property.
Yeah.
If they can set the cadaver dogs and they don't find anything, well, at least that's going to say, okay, they're not there. We got to look somewhere else, or investigate the people that are talking on the internet that should be talking to us.
Yeah.
That's just the way I feel about it. So, but thank you for letting me call.
Thank you so much, my dear.
And thank you so much for letting me be a pearl and making such a great community so safe.
I appreciate you. All right, thank you.
Different opinions, but you take care.
You too, honey. Bye-bye. 1 second. Thank you for calling. Hi, how are you doing?
I'm good. Is this Justin?
This is? Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm calling from Nova Scotia. I just basically this stuff just doesn't make sense to me at all. This new timeline with Darren and Daniel, like they changed their stories again, but it's so different from the story that they told before that I'm having a really hard time believing it.
Yes, because I mean, Daniel has given how many different accounts already, and why are you supposed to? It's kind of like the little boy who cried wolf. It feels like we're at now. You know what I mean? Like,
well, and that really freaked me out. Is like, okay, on day one, he's supposedly missing 2 sweaters, and now he thinks somebody's framing him. It's like, what? So what? The kids are missing, and you're doing an inventory of your wardrobe?
Yes. For
Like,
those of you that don't know in chat, Daniel is allegedly saying he's missing 2 sweaters now. So
yeah, he says, like, they get found, went to the police and said if they get found with the kids, he's been framed.
I mean, that's, to me, that is setting the work up. It's setting the groundwork.
Yeah.
I
mean, he says, he goes, well, he was yelling for the kids, which woke up his mom. And then she catches Malaya on the phone, and then that changes to really early in the morning. Supposedly it was on the side of the road when she was getting these kids off in a car, but somehow everything went sideways. Like, it just does not make sense to me at all.
And he said they were taken to frame him. So what's he expecting to be found or not found then? That's a great question. That's a great question. What?
Yeah, like, and people are saying the timeline, oh, well, that doesn't matter. The timeline is everything for this. Like,
it's everything. Timeline
like,
is everything. You know, like Chris Proudfoot says, I combed through it with a fine-tooth comb.
Give us timeline.
Absolutely. Honey, we got to have some timelines. You damn right on that. Yes, ma'am.
Anyways, I'll let you go. I just wanted to pop on and just.
That's crazy. So.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye.
You too, honey. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. I mean, now. This is the thing. Does Daniel think this is actually helping him? Do you really think you saying, Daniel, that, oh, there's 2 sweaters that are gone now, and, you know, if they're found with Jack or Lily, to me, that's saying a lot. And in my opinion, that's also saying like an innuendo of they're not alive. That's what it's saying. That's what it's giving. And really, Daniel, the best thing you can do is just either go talk to the RCMP or just enjoy the rest of your life until the RCMP knocks on your door and Malaya's, in my opinion. Because I believe that those kids are next to or in water. There's too many culverts. There's too many dirt roads. There's too many sweaters. There's too much water being up to your east. Hello.
Hi, Justin.
How you doing?
This is New York, Leo.
Hey.
And I just wanted to come in because I'm totally on the same page as you. I feel like Darwin, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
He came out here with this story. And I'm not saying that he is lying, but what I believe is happening is he is being lied to. Because if we go back to the very beginning, Daniel said, since, you know, he's the one that likes to talk, he said they were laying in bed together.
Yep.
And calling the kids' names, and all of a sudden the kids were gone and they were both there in the bed. And that's the story I'm sticking to. And if he comes up with another bullshit story, then he's lying.
Well,
I'm sorry.
I mean, we're at the 10th or the 11th version now. You know what I mean? It's just, it's crazy.
And, like, people think that we're being mean. It's like, no, nobody's being mean. It's just that all these theories that you're putting out here that you have no receipts, as we call them, I call them.
Yes.
Anything to back it up, no proof. It's very upsetting and disheartening, and it's throwing the case way off of what we should all be focusing on. And it's just ridiculous at this
It
point.
is. You can say that Jack and Lily Martians came down. You can say anything, but show a fucking receipt.
Exactly. No, I am so with you on this. Like, just show us some real information.
Right.
I mean, because this is getting totally blown way out of hand.
It just
And
causes
people
more
think
bullshit. And the thing is,
it's
like,
confusing.
you know, he probably thinks, oh, they're giving me this information and I'm going to, you know, blow this case wide open, when they are just using him as a toy.
Right. That's what I've said. Darwood, whatever your name is, sir, I feel you are being bamboozled. You are being lied to. Whoever is giving you this information, obviously there's no truth to it. If there was, you would have found something out. And then he comes out and he adds to it by saying, and oh, I was real close and this and that. No. Listen, buddy, I know you're older. I'm not disrespecting you, sir, but if you had real information, you don't come out and say, oh, I was close, but I couldn't talk to this one because that one, I can't give up their name. But I mean, this sounds so crazy. Like, come on, you should have been reporting this to the police.
Yep.
And he said he did or whatever, but who knows?
Wow.
But I can't listen to any more conversations that people let him come on their panel and have, because it's giving me major, major anxiety. Because it's like you're never getting an answer with him. It's just all speculation.
This is how, hold on, I want to answer something. Someone said can't give receipts. How can't give receipts though? How would you give them? The same way as the RCMP has to give receipts before they arrest someone. The exact same way.
Exactly.
Just the same. If I tell you there's some proof here, you got to come with some receipts with i.e. proof.
Right. Okay. Maybe they don't understand what receipts are, Justin. Let me explain to them. Okay. So this guy has this big theory, okay? Everybody in the chat, and that's exactly what it is. It's a theory. Like I said, I'm not disrespecting him. I feel like he was lied to, and he is running with the lie. But he doesn't realize he's been lied to or something. I don't know. But a receipt is just like proof. Like, you have proof that these kids are alive. He said, I am 1,000% sure these kids are alive. Where is that proof? That's like a receipt, like him showing, him sending Justin a video of the kids walking around, or him sending Justin a video of their voices, or something to prove that this is what's going on.
This,
none of this happened.
Daniel's mom could have said she saw Malaya out there and Daniel comes out of the house or whatever. Okay, but that's just what Daniel's mom is saying, right? Like,
and then there's 2 sweaters in the woods or wherever. Somebody stole his 2 sweaters.
That's really sus as hell. That's really sus as hell.
Yeah, it's real sus. But you want to know one thing I will say? If he truly passed his lie detector test and everybody else did according to all these sources, the only thing that would make me believe this crazy story about Malaya is that if he passed it, he knows he didn't kill the kids because he knows she took them. But then there you have it right there. Then he again is lying because he didn't tell that to authorities when this all first happened. And
Bingo.
it could have been all nipped in the bud at that point in time.
Bingo.
Okay, so either way it goes, Daniel, you're lying.
Which, you know, this tells me a lot. This tells me a lot. If Daniel is saying that he lied for Malaya, right? Lied for Malaya. That tells me that the kids were not in a good position at that house to begin with. It means they weren't, listen, it doesn't matter who's in your house, right? You're not going to lie for your husband or your wife or their brother or their sister when it comes to life and limb, the person's best interest. I mean, when you are lying to the RCMP, Daniel is admitting that he lied to the RCMP to cover up whatever Malaya is supposed to do. And let's just talk about that for a minute. Okay, Daniel, you're saying that you're lied to the RCMP and all of that because of her story, right? Hiding the kids. But if she was hiding the kids, you're saying, everyone's saying, not you, but everyone's saying because she was trying to get away from you. Now, what kind of damn sense does that make? You are going to help her lie for you because she was trying to get away from you? You get what I'm saying?
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Why would he be lying? Why would he help lie for her to get away from him?
That doesn't make sense.
That's weird as hell. Like, people don't
Yeah,
think
it's
through
real
these
weird.
things. They just spit out shit and they don't think through it.
And that's my whole thing. It's like all this craziness coming up with all these new allegations, because that's what they are, just crazy stuff, and none of it can be proven. It's just very frustrating to us viewers and us people who really care and really want these kids to be found.
Yes.
We want justice for them. We
Right.
don't want to hear these wild stories that you're now concocting. Like Daniel was in a live chat last night, and that guy Darwood was on there again. I had to leave because he was saying that Malaya took the kids and hit them basically, and Daniel was in the chat. And when this guy was talking, Daniel went and put in the chat 100. Like, that's totally true. Well, if that was totally true, why didn't you say this in the whole beginning when all this happened?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just crazy that people.
It is, and I'm not listening to no more. I cannot entertain, honestly, just for my own mental health. I cannot entertain the bullshit. I just can't do it.
It's
This
what it is right
serious.
now. It's just total bullshit at this point.
Yeah.
It's just total bullshit. Everyone's just saying things, and I'm thinking, guys, like, okay, she's trying to run away from him, and then why the hell is Daniel lying for her then? Like, makes no sense.
No, and the stories twist, they change, and then this Darwood guy wonders why people are getting a little frustrated. It's like, hey, buddy, okay, you came up on that panel last night or whatever. I don't know if he was even on there live or if it was a recording, because I had to tune out because I'm like, I cannot any longer entertain this. If you're not coming with that, we can't.
Yes.
This is like,
Yes.
this is almost like,
If you don't know what happened,
you're
it's just your opinion.
something.
It's just your theory. It's just your hypothesis. That's all it is.
yeah. Like, don't go up on panels and give your opinion. This
Right.
is a serious case. We don't need opinions. I mean, we all got an opinion.
Right.
We can state that in the chat. But we don't need you to come up here and take us on a wild-ass goose chase.
It's just a wild ass
about
goose
some
chase is all it
crazy
is.
stuff
And it's
and
fresh.
not have one receipt to back it up.
It's so frustrating because, like, let's find these kids. Like, let's find these kids. Let's get on with it. Stop talking bullshit.
Exactly. That's the bottom line. Let's find the kids. And if people don't like it because you're being the way you are about it, Justin,
Well, this is the thing, but like,
you know what?
this is the thing, like, but why is it taking you, Daniel, 10 fucking tries to say what the truth is? Why is it taking that? And then when we find a hole in that, you come up with another one. You're chasing the dragon, dude, is all he's doing. He's chasing the dragon. That's it. And it just makes him look worse and worse and worse. So now we're talking about he's being set up that there might be 2 sweaters with Jack and Lily.
Right. Like, come on. I mean, I don't know if these people have mental issues. Well, I believe they do. But all this, and that's in my opinion, allegedly, okay?
Yeah.
All this that has gone on and getting this guy involved, that was all behind Daniel. Daniel got that guy involved. He talked to him and gave him and fed him all this information that, you know, we don't know if it's lies or truth or whatever, you know. And it's, like I said again, it's just very frustrating to us viewers because we really want to find these kids and we don't want a hoax or a guy coming up telling us, well, these kids, you know, she planned it, they were out front, and and all of a sudden she ran to the front with the kids and threw them in a van and they took off. Okay, if all that happened, then you lied, Daniel, because you told the police you and her were in the bed.
Yeah, exactly.
Together.
Exactly. Hey, dear, other people are trying to call in, so I'm going to let them call in. So thank you so much for calling.
Thank you for letting me up,
I
honey.
appreciate you.
And I'll be in the chat.
All right,
It's just
baby.
sad.
Call back in.
Okay,
It is. Thank you, baby. Bye-bye. Okay. If anybody else wants to call in, you can call in because we're going to get onto this video in just a second. Oh, I agree they are. Hold on. Shit. Hold on. Hello. You're live.
Hi, Justin.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Can you hear me okay?
Yep. Hear you loud and clear, my dear.
Good. Okay, it's Joanne
Hey, darling.
from Ontario, Canada.
What's your thoughts?
Okay, here it is. I got a couple things. For all the people wondering, first of all, about the cadaver dogs, okay, one problem. In Canada, we actually don't have that many of them available, okay? Now, the RCMP, it was on one of the news channels. They did get a cadaver dog from Ontario, okay? That has been done, and they do have it, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that was on the news, so that's we take care of that problem. Yeah, in my opinion, they're both mine, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm not big. Well, okay, let's talk about the tarot readers out there.
Oh
the card
God,
readers.
I can't even get started with them. Ugh.
Okay, but hold on. Let's just give them a bit of credit here. I have listened and I have wrote down things and I've listened to 11 of them. Okay, 11 of them. And 3 of them was right on the day they disappeared. Those kids disappeared. Now, all of them, it is okay. I can see one of them, 2 of them, maybe coming up with the exact same situation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? 9 out of 11 of them, Justin, all say the same thing. Okay? I've watched them. There's no tricks involved. They do the card thing. They know what they're talking about. They have helped police all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
In the States, here in Canada, okay? But that many out of 11 have all come up with the same thing. Okay?
And what'd they come up with?
And I'm going to give, okay, what they have been able to come up with in the cards is that on the night of the party,
okay?
Mm-hmm.
And there was it wasn't a party. We're not going to say that, okay? We're going to say there was a get-together, okay? For Danielle's sake, okay? It was a get-together. Anyway, there was a lot of things going on that night. There were drugs, there were alcohol, okay?
Well, I can't say we can't
Now-
say that. We can't say that there were. I mean, in their reading, we cannot take that as a fact because tarot is for entertainment purposes only. We have to remember that. We cannot take that as a fact.
They say it, Justin, they say it's for entertainment, okay? Because they have to, legally. So that nothing they say can come back at them, okay?
Well, I mean,
they're not just saying that for entertainment. No, they're not. Okay, I know one because she lives right here in my town. Okay, it is to protect them with what they're coming out with.
Mhm.
Okay, but I will say, supposedly, okay, in their opinion, okay,
Mhm.
and you can say entertainment if you want, but let me just say what has come out, okay? I don't think, in myself, my own opinion, I don't think those kids were picked up, okay? I think one of them was, but they were taken for burial, okay? That's my opinion. Now, okay, back to what they've come up with. Okay, apparently there were drugs there. Okay, that's apparently.
Allegedly.
Now, allegedly, and what they came out with was Jack had gotten into something and he had drank something. Okay, now the parents weren't even in the house at this moment. Okay, and then he was seen grabbing something off the table. Apparently, there were medication.
Mhm.
Okay, and he ate one.
But respectfully, this is nothing new. We've all. I mean, I've thought that's the most likely thing to happen, in my opinion. That they got something and that they likely found them because that's really the only time when generally two people, especially broken up, does something. When they break up, but they are still, it's what I call it. What do I call it? Neglect. It's a form of neglect. Allowing so, but that's nothing new, whether it's a psychic or it's.
No, it's not, Justin, but I'm just trying to get to where they feel they were taken, okay, and what happened. I think a lot of people do feel something happened inside that home, okay?
Mhm.
I think that's pretty much a given. I think we all kind of feel that way. But if we listen to these 9 readers that all say the same thing, I have to kind of think that they're on to something. Now, apparently, when the parents came in, Jack was unconscious, okay? They tried reviving him. Apparently, Daniel, what they came out with was that Daniel was running him in cold water on his head, trying to get him to come to. Some of the people started leaving. They didn't want anything to do with what was going on.
Yeah, but ma'am, we have no idea that there was a party the night before.
No, we don't, Justin. I'm not giving you facts, hon. I'm just trying to give another way of looking at things, okay? I'll forget about tarot readers. Let's talk about Malaya.
Okay, that's better.
If she wanted to get out of that relationship, okay, all she had to do was walk outside. Sorry, my dog's barking because I'm on the phone.
You're fine.
All she had to do was go outside, call the police.
explained to them what was happening and that she needed to leave for the safety of her and the kids. Those police would have come to her.
Yes.
Okay?
Sure.
Not the RCMP. She didn't have to involve them at all. Call the police.
Right.
They would have came and helped her. It would have been done. It would have been over. None of this had to happen. And Malea's not stupid. I'm past that too. She's knows
not stupid.
what she's doing.
Yeah.
Malea.
Correct.
Okay, she knows what she's doing. And that's why I can't believe that she had the kids taken somewhere. And
She
that
didn't.
she went through this story with the RCMP.
Yeah.
I can't buy it.
No,
She
I
didn't
can't either.
have to do any of that.
No,
Right? She didn't have to.
I agree with that.
And that's why, in my opinion, I do feel those kids are not with us anymore. I've heard a lot of things, but there is apparently some believe that Lily is in the ocean, that there was stuff put in the backpack to weigh her down, and that Jack is near the railroad track. There's a huge tree there, and he's in a bit of a pond with debris covering him. Okay? Now, that comes from some of those tarot readers and a psychic, but that's all I'm going to say about that, okay? And then that Darren guy, I mean, excuse me, who does he think he is? Putting himself in the middle of a disappearance of 2 children and saying all this crap? Who does he think he is? No one cares what he has to say.
I think that he
He's
really
a liar.
thinks. I think he really thinks he's helping. I think at his core he thinks he's helping, but it's not.
But he won't tell
It's
the
not.
RCMP who this guy is. That's my problem.
Well, yeah,
Trust him,
because he doesn't know anything at all.
which he says he does know,
Okay.
But if he did,
Okay.
the RCMP would have investigated already.
Yes. Hey, Cher needs to call in. She said she needs to tell something very important. Can you call back here in just a minute? Okay. She's actually calling right now.
I'm good.
All right, honey. Thank you so
Okay,
much. Hey, what's up?
Call from
Oh, wait.
Cher
Okay.
voicemail
there.
behind.
Okay. What's up?
Hey,
Hey.
so I just found where Daniel was like in someone's chat or something. Remember last night we were talking about did he have Malea's belongings and stuff like that?
Yes.
And all her stuff is still with him.
Yes. All of Malea's stuff is still with him. Yes.
Did you see that?
Did you send me something?
No, we were talking about it last night, but I do have a picture where he said it in someone's chat. So yeah, for sure, all her stuff is there. I know we were talking about it last night, but let me see if I can send you a few things. I'm gonna hop back to chat. Sorry.
Okay, honey. All right. Thank you.
All
right. Bye-bye. Guys, credit goes to Dawn B. I see you just sent me this. I'll put Dawn B's link here. This video is entitled Lilly and Jack Sullivan update. I spoke to the RCMP about Durwood O'Grady. I guess that's his last name.
Guys, what's going on? Just wanted to get on here and give you guys an update in the Jack and Lilly Sullivan case. I just got off the phone with the Royal Canadian RCMP, and we discussed a Mr. Durwood O'Grady, and we had a pretty lengthy conversation about it. Gave him some information that was circulating on YouTube. We looked at a few YouTube channels, and he was very interested in what Mr. O'Grady had to say. Obviously, they have not seen it. So Just here to give you an update on that. I thought, well, surely with all this coming out, law enforcement knows about it, right? So I called them at 902-485-4333, which is a number that they want you to call. And the guy called me back and said, hey, what's going on about this possible relative of Malaya that, and I told him basically, you know, a dude apparently gave someone an interview and somehow he's related to her. Don't know if it's her uncle or what, but supposedly he's related to her, and he's saying, and he looked at it and he's like, you know, he looked at a few videos and he's like, dude, I've seen all that I need to see. Is this the right number that we can reach you back at if we need you? I said, yep. And that was basically it.
So
And
he's saying,
hadn't heard from him.
So Don B is saying that apparently, am I getting this right? That he has no idea about
that was about an hour
Darren or
ago.
Darwood.
So figured I'd get on here and share that little update with you on the Jack and Lily Sullivan case. There you go. So, yeah, not much of a video, just what's going on 3 minutes here, but
Nadia, is that what people are saying?
Be interesting to see what they. I'm sure they're going to reach out. They're going to be wanting to talk to this Durwood O'Grady guy, in response to what he's had to say to YouTubers. So,
and let me just say this: if anyone knows in this chat, if the RCMP is watching, I can guarantee you Holly W knows. I'll just say that. I called today, Justin. They know Darren, Major Crimes Unit. I will not lie on these kids. Do they know now or did they know then? I don't know. I don't know.
I'm telling you guys, it was news to him. So we'll see what happens.
Okay. There we have it from Don B. That's what he says. So there's that. I want to go back to this right here.
As we woke up, I heard them playing in the next room beside us, and I was drifting in and out of sleep. And they're not the type of kids that we tell them not to go outside on their own. We always make sure that we're out there with them, watching them. And
the thing that resonates with me is when Daniel said, guys, leave Malaya alone. She might take it out on Lily. Not verbatim what he said, but that's what he's indicating. Take it out on Lily. Okay.
They happen to just get out that sliding door and we can't hear it when it opens.
He said she never paid attention to sorry, Meadow. I said Lily. Sorry. Might take it out on Meadow. Sorry. I apologize. Thank you for correcting me. And Daniel is he has lied. Absolutely. But why? I think they're just trying to throw each other under the bus because they both know what happened to these kids.
And they were outside playing, but we weren't aware of it
Caller,
at the
please
time.
hold.
And the next thing we knew, it was quiet, and we get up and I tell him,
Caller, please hold.
My partner, Daniel, I tell him, do you hear the kids? And he says, no. And we get up instantly. We're looking outside. We're looking everywhere, yelling for them. And I instantly just call 911. It's just.
All right, caller, what's up?
Hi. So, I've been watching all of these live streams and keeping up with it
Uh-huh.
as it's come out. And my one thought of how Malaya could keep quiet, all of Malaya's family except for Durwood Darren, is if Daniel had someone, quote unquote, on the inside or involved in, I don't know what you would call it there, but mafia, mob, gang ties, something along that line that would keep Malaya from, she would be scared. Either way, she wouldn't be able to say anything. And that was my only thought, and I won't keep you.
Like, you think Malaya, like Daniel has ties, but like that would be scary for Malaya? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, if she felt like she couldn't speak, maybe even to the police, if Daniel had an inside in the police. I know, certain types of
I see that with more local, perhaps like local law enforcement, but like RCMP is like the equivalent to the FBI, right? Here in the United States. So I don't.
Yeah, that's the thing is that, like, I mean, the higher up that is, the more tends to be those kinds of ties. And like I said, it's just complete speculation. But as a mother myself, that would be the only reason. And I've been in those, not that type of situation, but domestic violence where it was just like, you don't know what to do. And of course, your mind is scattered. But at the same time, if she was reaching out to family and family were trying to help her, but at the same time, they knew something else that they needed to stay silent in a way.
Yeah, what I don't understand now, 7, almost 8 weeks later, is the continued silence of if she knows something that wouldn't implicate her, why not say it?
Well, if she has a lawyer and if they are still watching Daniel and keeping an eye on his whereabouts and what he's doing, maybe building up a case, and then they can, come out with everything. And I think one of your, like maybe 2 or 3 callers back was not saying the same thing, but kind of along those lines of if Malaya is staying quiet, there's probably a reason that we just haven't come across yet. And it's just, I think at this point, everybody's just kind of blown, their minds are blown by all of it. And I'm just trying to figure out like some kind of reason that it would still be quiet.
Time will tell. Time will tell. I just hope that these kids are found soon, because I do believe Daniel and Malaya know.
I really hope so. I think even if we, the public, never actually find out, as long as the kids are okay, that's the bottom line. And
Do you think they're okay?
Not. In my heart of hearts, I'm wishing and hoping. That's all I have. And for like Belinda Gray, the biological grandmother, for her sake, I hope that she does have some answers in the end. But for us, it's a big blown up case. But in the end, if the kids are okay, that's the bottom line. I really hope they are.
I do too. God, more than anything, I hope they are. But I hate to sound negative, but I don't think that they are, because the RCMP, that's one of the only things that they've almost been certain on, is that they don't believe that they're alive.
Also, yeah.
We want that more than anything.
Right. And I think that we're just kind of holding on to any bit of hope, and that can be crushing. So, just hope that there's a happy ending, or at least some resolve in all of it.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of secrets we don't know. I do.
I agree on that. For sure.
All right. Thank you so much for calling, hon.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Appreciate
Have
you.
a great night.
You too. Bye-bye. Oh, sorry, guys. I didn't get that last call in time. Okay, let's finish this.
I just had the instinct I needed to call. They're both really go-lucky children. They're so sweet. They talk to anyone. They'll talk your ear off. They will speak to anyone in a store. Everyone. They're just extremely sweet kids. I appreciate the huge search.
Thank you for calling.
Oh, hey, Justin.
Hello. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. What's up?
Okay. I just have one quick thing. The thing that throws me the most is if Malaya, if she set this up for the kids to be picked up, she had to have done it from her phone. She would never have had a burner phone, a secret phone, because she never planned on being called.
Yeah. You're right.
Exactly. So
You're right. I mean, I think that, I don't think that there was this secret plan about giving the kids away or anything, whether it's a burner phone, whether it's internet, whatever. They are going to know the conversation, whether it was that morning, a week before. They're going to pull all of those receipts and look at every single conversation Malaya, Daniel's mother, Daniel's brother has spoken to in the last foreseeable future. And they're going to know what towers, if they got service there. If they don't, it's going to go through their internet box, their router. And I mean, you have to, for you to, find a person, to do this, to hold a kid, it just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't.
oh no, who in the right mind would keep them this long, knowing the trouble?
Yeah. It just doesn't. I just can't get with it. I pray
I think
I'm
they are
wrong.
lying to Dorwood. Yeah, but unfortunately.
Yeah.
What else makes sense? Them being alive don't make sense.
It doesn't.
No. And Malia was weird saying that they're wet and cold, and she hoped that they're warm today in the sunshine. It was just weird what she was saying.
It is weird.
Yeah.
It's very weird. Yeah. There's just
okay. I won't take up all your time.
Oh, you're fine, honey. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Justin.
All right.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye. What she says right up here.
For going on right now. But we've been pushing for an Amber Alert, which hasn't been issued. Not just that they could possibly be abducted, which it is a possibility that they could have been, but just an alert.
And she's pushing. It has always been, from Malaya, the little bit that we know, and Daniel, close the borders, close this, check that. And the RCMP has just said they don't got it. There's nothing that makes sense here that they were taken. And that's something, and to me it's stop looking so close to us and look further out. Right? Don't look at us. Look out there. Whenever the parents should be like, listen, what do you need from me? What do you need from me so I can clear my name and let's move this circus on. Let's get on with the show. But that's not what we see. No, she didn't ask for help.
To let everyone know that they are missing. We had people text me saying that they weren't aware, someone else let them know that they were missing, and it would just be nice if everyone could be alerted. We thought maybe that
But they did send out, it's not an Amber Alert, but they did send out a missing child. What's it called? Not the, it's, I've got it right here, actually. Right here. They did send this out. Look at this. Yeah, Donwell said the same thing. Right here. Missing vulnerable persons. May 2nd, 12:43 p.m. Status active. Source RCMP. Description missing 6-year-old Lily Sullivan and 4-year-old Jack Sullivan. Lansdowne Station. Last seen today, May 2nd, 2025 at 10 a.m. on Gairloch Road. Lily has shoulder length light brown hair and was wearing a pink sweater, pink pants, pink boots. Jack has short blondish hair and was wearing blue dinosaur boots. Right there. Another one was issued Saturday around 5:30 p.m. as well. So I don't when they are found, it will be the biggest relief. Murray, I'm just staying as hopeful as possible. I want them home. I want to hold them and I want them home. That's exactly what she says. There's any quotes here by Daniel. 2 months ago, update 4:55 p.m. Oops. The search for Lily and Jack Sullivan ongoing in Pictou County. Since just after 10 a.m. this morning, May 2nd, a search has been underway for 2 children who are believed to have wandered off from their home on Gairloch Road in Lansdowne Station. There is a multi-agency response currently on the ground in Pictou County. It includes resources from the ground search rescue team and around the province are collaborating to ensure, where was it? Resources and teams are available on the ongoing basis. They immediately started searching after they got there at 10 a.m. when the last time they saw them was at 8 a.m., which is totally weird. Grave, thank you so much, my dear. Thank you for your hard work, Justin. Continued prayers for justice for Lily and Jack. Amen. Amen. Thank you so much, honey. I think it's purposely a distraction. Something's weird. Yeah, they put out a missing persons alert. And I mean, it's not an Amber Alert. There's not as many resources, but still, like, something is off here.
Evidence to suggest that an abduction took place at this time.
There's no evidence to suggest an abduction has taken place at this time. I mean, I don't know what else to say. That's the one thing that the RCMP has said. They don't think that anyone took them. Given away, whatever. It's amazing how now Daniel's changing his story, and apparently Malaya is too. Foul play, just like Sebastian, in my opinion. Tugs. Well, not to mention the not the RCMP, but the homicide. I forget who it is. With the $150,000 reward I showed you the other day, they changed it 3 times within 90 minutes. 3 times within 90 minutes saying that this criminal investigation, then they took one time crime off, then they took the other crime off, and now it's just the way it is now. So there's that. I don't know.
Is it something you're still investigating, whether or not they could have been abducted?
So we're exploring all investigative avenues.
Oh, I think it did.
So on the morning of
be.
May 2nd, approximately 10 a.m., our CMP officers received a call about 2 missing children. Approximately 10 a.m.
So now, let's get this straight. So now, Grandma, who's in her RV, says Malaya is way out here at the road, and Daniel is coming out of the trailer. Of course, honey. Good to see you, Nick. I like Daniel. You're not helping, bud. You're really not. Either just tell the truth, or just don't say anything, because these things can be used against you. That's a long ass driveway. Yes. It's an alibi for Daniel. Well, yeah, it's an alibi for Daniel. Right. Well, I think educated opinion, they can know through cars as well. And I think within a certain point, if they get on highways, or I don't know if what you guys call them, they're not interstates or whatever, they have technology that they can see who's in the area. Yeah. It really is. There's a lot of bullshit. I like, exactly, Teresa, exactly. It's so frustrating now that, he's saying like 80% chance I know what happened, but all I got to do is talk to Malaya. Well, okay. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. You've not given one receipt. Thank you, Jinja. Off subject, kind of. I read a book recently where the author stated most adults have the emotional maturity of an 8-year-old. Let that sink in. That's why the world is completely fucked, I guess. We are going to start doing... Ooh, it's storming bad here. We're going to start doing lives. Did y'all hear that? Of growing our emotional IQ. I believe it. Hold on. Let me show you this.
It's our hope every single time that they wandered off and you can find the children. Because I'm sure, like every officer out there, I'm not on the road currently, but your heart is pounding, the adrenaline is rushing, you're trying to find those children, right?
This case started just like that?
That's
what you're
correct.
Describing, you thought you'd go there, find them very quickly?
Yeah, absolutely. And our officers were nearby in an ongoing search for a kayaker that had gone missing the day prior. And I can tell you I was monitoring the situation remotely, and our officers, I could tell they were getting there as quickly as possible.
There are some, as you are aware, many theories out there. Some people think, well, maybe it's really just a tragic accident. Maybe they just wandered off into the woods. But you've said that it's suspicious. So at the very least, why does the RCMP view this case as suspicious?
So every missing person's investigation is suspicious until it's proven that it's not. If we don't have that information to say that it's not suspicious, we have to.
Well, I think it's even more suspicious now that old Daniel's switching his stories, and I think it's very interesting that it came. All of this happened the day after his very failed interview, switching everything up. Right. So there's that. All right. Listen to what Daniel says here. Nobody talks about this one as much. Quote, the disappearance has sparked rampant speculation on social media. Much of it is targeting Martel and the children's mother. Martel calls it all, quote, nonsense, end quote. Quote, it will never be enough for people online. Everywhere I go, people stare. That's something I have to live with until the truth makes its way out. And the truth always makes its way out, end quote, he said. Daniel, if you know the truth, why is it taking you 10 times to say this? When asked if he had anything to do with the children's disappearance, he was adamant in his answer, quote, I 100% did not, and I will hold that till my last day on this planet, end quote. So after the last day, does that mean you're going to say something? Is that what you mean? What else do we got here? Let's see here.
3-year-old Dylan Ehlers' disappearance in 2020 instantly sparked despair and concern, being left alone in his grandmother's yard. But online theories quickly son's disappearance. Children's case rocks disappearance and filed a civil case against 2 Facebook users that ended in a court settlement. But 5 years later, as another missing children's case rocks the province, widespread speculation has returned.
Similar to what we dealt with on the Ehler case, there are a lot of online rumors that I'm noticing online, and a lot of accusations against the parents.
6-year-old Lilly and 4-year-old Jack Sullivan were reported missing from their home in Lansdowne Station on May 2nd. A police investigation into the missing children is ongoing, but that hasn't deterred the public from launching an unofficial investigation of its own on sites like Facebook, Reddit, and X.
With respect to the spread of misinformation, inaccurate information, and speculation, I just want to say that's harmful. It's harmful to the families and communities who are trying to work their way through a traumatic event. And so I really want to encourage people to be kind.
There's a lot of information and the police have to follow up on every lead. But when a lot of it ends up being rumors, it's taking away from valid calls that they're getting and valid information that they would like to follow.
Like, for instance, saying Malaya put the kids in a car? Maybe that.
The Nova Scotia RCMP says they're looking into nearly 200 leads regarding missing brother and sister Jack and Lily Sullivan. In an update sent out today, the RCMP says they have received more than 180 tips from the public that they're following up on. They're also formally interviewing at least 35 people as part of the investigation, including community members and the.
So now they have interviewed over 50 some, right? Over 50 some interviews. Do we not think that Daniel's mother has stated all of this stuff? And if she hasn't,
saying it's hard on the entire community.
And if she hasn't said that she saw Malaya putting the kids in a car, then what the hell?
It has been more than 2 weeks since 6-year-old Lily Sullivan and her 4-year-old brother Jack were reported missing from their home. Police have said the children are believed to have wandered away from their property in Lansdowne Station on May 2nd. Premier Tim Hughes.
Passion flower. See, that's the thing. If in accidents, if parents, if there's a true accident that they cannot be deemed negligent from, like a car, so like getting hit by a car, usually you're in, you know, that person's going to stop and they're going to be like, oh my God, you know, and they're going to call and get help, right? This is going to have to be, if there is some sort of accident, it would have to be a negligent accident where they could possibly get in trouble for it. My
Justin,
opinion.
whose riding is in Pictou County, calls
You know
it
what I
a
mean?
devastating time.
I know the authorities are running a professional, thorough search, but this is weighing heavy on the minds of certainly people in Pictou County, but well beyond as well.
A wide-scale search was
I mean,
carried
look at
out
the
over
people that
6
have
days, but
searched.
efforts were scaled back on May 7th with
And guys, there's two children. They may be a hit and run, but why would Daniel and Malaya make up a story that they heard them in the room, you know, and Lily came back and forth in the room, right? It's not their fault. They didn't hit the kids with the car. You know what I mean? Maybelline hydrolonic acid lifter 008. There you go.
police saying there was little chance the siblings were still alive. However, more than 100 volunteers renewed the search over the long Victoria Day weekend, targeting specific areas around the road near their home. On Tuesday, RCMP declined our request for an interview
I don't
or
either,
an
Betty.
update. In a statement, the Mounties say investigators and search managers will be reviewing information collected during the searches on Saturday and Sunday and determining next steps. The children's stepfather says he's thankful to all the people searching for Lily and Jack, and he refuses to give up hope.
The snare everyone's hoping for is we bring them home. That's the main objective. It's always been that from day one.
The disappearance has sparked rampant speculation on social media, much of it involving Martel. He calls it all nonsense and says he's had nothing to do with the disappearance.
It will never be enough for a lot of people online. I mean, everywhere I go, people stare. But that's something I have to live with until, the truth makes its way out. And the truth always makes its way out.
The truth always makes its way out. Well, you can take that in different ways, right? If they're out there in the woods, again, how far does a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old go whenever maximum it's been as 20 minutes? I don't know.
Sky Bride and Blom, Global News, Halifax.
But I mean, guys, this is a big operation. We just can't picture how big this search was. It was huge. The truth never changes, and people who have nothing to hide, hide nothing. Bingo, Brandy. Bingo. That's what I always say. And why are you changing your story 10 times? Seriously. And that's a problem. Big ass problem, if you ask me. Guys, thank you all so much for joining me. Really, really do appreciate you guys are all absolutely amazing, amazing. Biggest in Canada, yeah. It's huge. Absolutely huge. I taught you that. You sweet Brandy. Well, that's awesome heritage, Joe. Same as Clutch, French ancestors. I know. I'm mostly Francais and don't know a lick of it. I might be back here in a little bit. The night is young. The night is young. So you never know. I love you all. You are all amazing. I did lose my cool a little bit tonight, which rarely happens, but I'm just so sick to death of people just making up bullshit. So I love you all and appreciate you. I'll see you guys probably here in a little bit. Much love. Bye-bye.